ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवती अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी। अर्जुन उवाच अहो बत महत्पापं कर्तुं व्यवसिता वयं यद्राज्यसुखलोभेन हन्तुं स्वजनमुद्यताः. So here Arjuna is very, very intelligent, and he says that this is a papakarya that we are doing because the objective of this war is to get the kingdom and the corresponding enjoyment, luxuries, and others. Rajya Sukha. So it's a lobha. Therefore, we are killing our own people. Therefore, it's a big mistake we are doing and accruing lot of papa in the whole encounter. He Bhagavan अपि चेदसि पापेभ्यः सर्वेभ्यः पापकृत्तमः सर्वं ज्ञानप्रमेणैव वृजिनं सन्तरिष्यसि. He says, Arjuna, you have this big argument that you are having, the papa you are accruing. Okay, for a moment we'll assume that you are doing that. Even assuming that you are the greatest sinner of the world by killing all these people. So, what is the way out to overcome this sin? It is gnana, sarvam gnana pravenaiva. Take to the boat of gnana. That can solve all these problems and remove all the sins. What is that gnana? To understand that, we as students should have three qualities. Pranipata pariprashnan seva. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te gnanam gnaninas tattvadarshinah. Seva for shattering the tamas. Prashna for promoting the rajas in the right direction. And pranipata, the surrender to develop the sattva. And who is the teacher? When we are going to become teachers, we must have both gnana, gnaninaha, and tattvadarshi. You must not only have the knowledge, but also you must have the realization, experience, theory and practice. Having said that, what is the right knowledge? न जायते म्रियते वो कदाचित् नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः अजो नित्यः शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणः न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे. Arjuna, don't think that you have only this body. You have your soul, your original state, which is immortal. And it has no birth, no death. And in the physical body that dies, the soul doesn't die. It's the total knowledge. So essentially, there are two dimensions. One, the body in which there is a continual flux of changes going on. And beyond that is that unchanging reality called the self. So that's the dimension that comes up. So this body is not only the physical body, but we have five bodies. Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanandamaya, Kosha, according to the Upanishads. Or according to Vedanta, the Sthula Sharira is the physical body, Sukshma Sharira, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya Koshas, and Karana Sharira, Anandamaya Kosha. Sthula, Sukshma, and Karana Shariras. So we all have these bodies which are on a continual flux of change. And that which is beyond is pure consciousness. Therefore, Krishna is telling, Veda vinashinam nityam yayena majamavyayam katham sapurusha partha kam bhatayati hantikam. If you understand this, then how can anybody kill anybody? What gets killed is only the physical body. And when this body dies, then you get into the other bodies. Sukshma Sharira, Karna Sharira. All our personality traits will be embedded in these things. So a lot of research has undergone, as I mentioned. Dr. Ian Stevenson from 1918 to 2007 was known for his extensive research in unraveling the mysteries of rebirth. What he did was to locate cases of young children who claim to remember the past life. So he would go there and test whether such a thing existed. And so his research involved collection and analysis of thousands of cases, not only in US, but all over the world, particularly in India, Lanka, and other places. So he also examined the reincarnation aspect and beliefs in different cultures. So, according to the Bhagavad Gita, when we die, we do not lose everything. We have all our personality traits hidden in our Sukshma and Karana Shariras. And when they come back, all those personality traits are going to come back. This is the one that can explain as to how there are music prodigies, mathematical prodigies, and so on. They are all stored in the form of Sanchita Karma and Prarabdha Karma. And when we are born, the Prarabdha Karma shows up. And they show up as our entire personality. So the whole process is to move from tamas to rajas, rajas to sattva. Is sattva the end? No, you have to go beyond. त्रैगुण्य विषया वेदाः निस्त्रैगुण्यो भवार्जुन निर्द्वन्द्वो नित्यसत्त्वस्थः निर्योगक्षेम आत्मवान्. So you have to go beyond the sattva. So you have to transcend the dualities: cold, heat, success, failures, praise, shame, happiness, misery. And these dualities, dvandvas, always constitute our materialistic world. So, in the process of going from tamas to rajas and to sattva, you have to go beyond the gunas. Why? Sattva is so good, so great. The sattvic people are the role models in the society. Why should anybody go beyond the gunas? Is the basic question that comes. Here we know that persons who are highly dedicated, who are highly sattvic, they work fully dedicated for the nation, for spirituality, they also end up with suffering with modern NCDs and so on. Why? 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 Another thing is conflicts may arise. Ethics versus duty. Duty versus duty. Ethics versus ethics. And why these ethics? Why duty? What is the meaning of this life? When such things come, we have to go beyond the gunas. Because gunas are the bondages, and bondage is the root cause. And how bondage comes up? By attachment. Attachment to that action. So we have to go beyond the bondage to reach ultimate. That's why we have to go beyond the panchakoshas. So when you go on developing, you can come to a state of sthita prajna. Krishna says you have to overcome the dualities and reach that. What is the state of sthita prajna? Arjuna asks him. So that wonderful sloka. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parthamanogatan atmanyevatmana tushtaha sthita prajnasthadochyate. Sthita prajna tada uchyate. Then he is called as a sthita prajna. Two qualities. One, no, freedom from all desires, all thoughts. You should be able to stay in that state of silence with no thoughts, with no desires. How long? Well, it can be 5 minutes, it can be 10 minutes, it can be 1 hour, it can be 5 hours, it can be one day, it can be days together and months together. If you get that power, then you are a sthita prajna. It is a great example of Ramana Maharshi sitting in the deep silence for months together. And second thing is Atmaneva Atmanathrita. He is fully happy unto himself, full of joy, bliss, and Ananda Swarupa. These are the two things, it says. So why Krishna is telling these two things for the qualification of Sita Prajna, which is so grand, so fantastic? Because that also gives us the method for the sadhana, what we have to do. That is, you must learn how to stay in that silence more and more. Release from the bondage of all desires. Release from the bondage of all thoughts. Slowly, gradually, you can do. The second is tuning to the bliss, totally independent of the external objects and ever satisfied unto ourselves. So with that, we came last time to the connection between thoughts and emotions. So mostly we think that thoughts and emotions are two different things. One is the work of the heart, another is the work of the head, we say. But is there a connection between the two? Look at that wonderful 10th verse. Dhyayato vishayan punsaha sangasteshu pajayate sangat sanjayate kamaha kamat krodho bhijayate krodhat bhavati sammohaha sammoha spriti vibhramaha स्मृतिभ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशात् बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति. Once the buddhinasha occurs, you're gone. So here Krishna is bringing about the subtle connection between mind and thoughts. Jayata Vishyan Punsaha. If you go on thinking about an event, a person, a thought, it goes on again and again. Then arises the attachment. Sangahateshu upadayate. This is the beginning of emotion. So therefore, when you go on thinking about the same subject or an event or a person, an attachment develops to that. Therefore, the emotions starting with attachment are nothing but power thoughts. Once you go on thinking about it again, the thought becomes very, very powerful. Therefore, call emotions as power thoughts. Just like energy, when you go on condensing and then going faster and faster, higher and higher frequency, then it becomes matter. So just like there's a connection between energy and matter in the physical world, in the mental world we have connection between emotions and thoughts. So therefore, emotions are nothing but spitted out thoughts, powered up thoughts are emotions. So this forms the whole basis of all ads that we get. So you go on seeing that again and again in the TV. Then slowly an attachment develops. Then, yes, I want it, comes. This is how the emotions arise. Then a small story relating to thoughts and how they turn themselves into desires. In a very big city, there is a small scientist named Marcus. He really wanted people to notice his cool time machine, a very special invention that he had done. He called it cool time machine. So he decided to show this off at a big science event. He wanted to get a lot of praise from everybody. And when he was to demonstrate, when he turned it on, the whole thing got crazy because the electricity and these things were very haphazard. So his machine didn't work. So he was so upset, so disgusted, so depressed. He would not stay there. He ran away. So his mind was fully disturbed. Everything got messed up and like a bad future. So his desire for attention and praise by everybody had vanished. So when he went back to his home, he had to figure out how to fix things. So he traveled through the weird time. He learned how that wanting too much recognition could cause big problems. So he started looking at his machine and find out what happened in the whole encounter. So he found that he has pressed a wrong button, which also would have been the root cause for that. So he understood that it is because of that ambition, desire, and greed, and wanted to get fast recognition, speed as speed. He realized that it is that speed that confused him, and he did the wrong thing. So he realized the importance of being humble and careful about what we wish. In the end, he fixed up his mistake. So he learned a nice lesson about being content and appreciating what he had. So, with all that calmness and peace, uncontrolled desires was vanished. And in the next conference, the whole thing was a booming success. And patents rolled in his favor. Various patents he got because of his invention. So essentially, the sadhana has been put forth here. This was the question asked by our Dineshji. Okay, we have emotions. How to overcome them? How to gain mastery and control above them? And here Krishna is telling that you go to the very root of development of emotions. That is repeated thinking. So cut the very root itself. So you should not allow the looping of thoughts. When you think of a subject or a person or an event, normally your mind goes on thinking about it, ruminating it. There itself you cut. That is the way of the Gnana Yoga. By the process of discrimination, analysis. So this can happen when you continuously do that nididhyasana or contemplation. So our memory store will get strengthened, and you will be able to see that you will be able to cut the loop of developing tension. At another interesting story. In a room, the whole light was dimly lit. Bhavana, her heart raced as she clutched the handwritten letter. She was looking at it, the words penned by her estranged sister, her very close sister, revealed a long buried family secret. So emotions started swirling her. She got into an emotional loop. And when she understood the potent mix of betrayal, anger, and a desperate desire for the truth, you know, all these things started running through her mind as emotions. So she walked here and there. She paced the room here and there, here and there. Shadows dancing across her face. The revelation echoed through her mind, unraveling the carefully woven tapestry of her memories. All those incidents which were narrated in that letter, it went through her mind, and she was so upset, so disturbed. The letter spoke of a hidden past that had festered like a poison in the veins of her family. It had run through her entire family, and that hidden past has come through. So doubt clouded Bhavana's thoughts. You know, he got confused. She grapped with conflicting emotions. Whether this is right, whether this is right, what happened, and this condition. So she was all upset by the emotional imbalances. Should she confront her sister, Ruchi, whose motives remained shrouded in mystery? No. Other sister, whom the sister who wrote the thing has written about her. No. Or should she bury the truth, preserving the fragile semblance of normalcy that had defined their lives? All their lives have been put forth there. No. She was in a confusion. Moha had come. As the seconds trickled away, the weight of revelation bore down on her, and the revelation of the truth started coming slowly. Suddenly, she gets a knock at the door. It shattered her tense silence, and it sent shivers down her spine. Fear mingled with anticipation. That's what is happening, what is happening. That somebody is coming, what's happening. She was not sure whether she opened or not. As she opened the door, she was unsure of what lay ahead. The suspense hung in air, a palpable force driving her to the brink of emotional abyss. And Bhavana woke up from her dream to the wakeful world that she was the only loved daughter of their parents. All her confusion, everything went off. So the gnana, the right knowledge, dawned on her, and all her confusion and the emotional things, everything vanished. So from the dream, she came to the wakeful world. Similarly, we have to come out of that loop of emotions you know, and come out of that dreamlike thing that will happen. You know. And that is the sadhana that has been given. Go to the very gnana, sarvam gnanaplavenama, vrujinam santarishyati, as Krishna says, the gnana that I am that infinite, I am that all pervasive, I am that silence, I am beyond the thoughts. You know. So that thought, once it comes, then all those emotional disturbances, everything is going to vanish. You know. So with that, we go over today to the questions, and you can probably put it on the chat box if needed. Before that, I also have some questions which I will try to address. One of the questions that has come up to me is, it's easily said than done. When I'm getting angry, you know, then how can I come out of it? So, what is the practical way to do these things? One is the gnana. The gnana has to be brought forth. For that, continuous practice is needed. You know. Practice is necessary to see the whole mechanism as to how the thoughts loop themselves to become attachments, and from attachments it goes into the whole process of raga, dvesha, and krodha, and all this sammoha and everything happen. You know. Therefore, our memory should come to our help to come out of that loop. For that, you must do the practice. You know. What are the practices to overcome the anger? We had one of our persons, a student who was elderly, he was 46 years old, who came long ago, and he was in a good position. He was a BDO, and when he came, he had realized that his major problem is anger. He gets upset on very small, trivial things several times during the day. So he asked me, after hearing these lectures, as to how we have to overcome the emotion. He said that small things will upset me, and then I become very angry. I do not know how to overcome these things. So, how to overcome that, he was asking. And I told him that you make a determination. Determination that you will not become angry, you know, anytime. So, in the morning, when you get up, make a resolve. Today, whatever may happen, I will not become angry. You know, a strong will. And you start off nicely, things are going, and suddenly something happens which you don't like, you become angry. And your resolution, your determination that I should not become angry just vanishes. Then it goes on the whole day. In the night before you sleep, you make a summary of what has happened. I told him that you note down in our diary how many times you became angry and make a resolve. Before going to sleep, becoming angry is not right, is not good. Therefore, I will not become angry tomorrow. No? So make a resolve, the strong will. When you go with this thought throughout the night, the same thought will continue, start cleansing. And in the morning, you cut up with the same thing, I will not become angry. We all know how this happens. So you have made a resolve tomorrow morning, I have to get up at 3 o'clock because I have to catch the flight at 6:30. I have to leave office by our house by 4:30. So I put an alarm. But before the alarm rings, already this rings. How? So there is a clocking mechanism. There is something goes on. So therefore, during the sleep, that the Karna Sharira, the samskaras will continuously go on. Therefore, the thought that I have put in the night will go on getting into your entire night. That will help to cleanse. In the morning, you get the same thought. But again, make a resolve. Yes, I will not become angry throughout the day. So this process will continue. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, 10 days, every day. I told him. And he was very sincere and he started doing that. After 1 week, he came to me and said, Sir, look at my chart. First day, I became 26 times angry. You know. Second time, yes, 25. Third day, still 26, 27. Fourth day, it started reducing, 20. Fifth day, 10. Sixth day, 3. Yesterday, I became angry only twice. First time in my life, I have been able to do these things. So this is the process of sadhana. To overcome the anger, to overcome the greed, to overcome the emotional slavery for this thing. Let work on this thing continuously. And at the end of that month, that person was so happy. Last 15 days, I'll never become angry even a single time. So this is how we had to put forth in the whole encounter. So here is a question again. Yes, we are in the world surrounded by emotional persons. We cannot escape. If we behave the way of emotional balanced, other might not understand. How to manage this with others and any solution to this thing? Not becoming angry doesn't say that you should not act. No. You have the full discrimination to act the way that you want. If you become angry, then you lose that freedom to act the way that you want. You know. So there was a brilliant question once, one of our students. He said that you say that you should not become angry, but I encountered a situation. You know, my sister was coming, and there was a gunda boy, and he came almost pouncing on her. You know, and she started running, but he almost caught her. Then I was standing there. I became so angry, so upset, and I immediately went and pounced on him. You know. So when such adharma happening, should you not become angry? You know, is it that I was wrong to become angry and then hit him and others? You know, yes, there may be genuine reasons for us to become angry, but not becoming angry doesn't mean that you should not do action. You have to do the necessary action. But if you get upset, if you get lost, if you get angry, then your discrimination power reduces. Therefore, the action that you do may not yield the right things. You know. Think, do an action when you are angry, and think of doing the action without getting angry, which is better. You know. Without getting angry, also you can do everything, and you can do better. So I can hit that boy or do whatever is needed to see that similar things doesn't happen, to correct him and also, and achieve the results that you want. But if you become angry, you do not know what you are doing. Many times we regret about what we have done in anger. Therefore, not to become angry is to retain the freedom to do the actions the way that we want. It is a discrimination that characterizes all of us. That's the freedom. You can do this way or you can do this way. And you decide what you want to do and do the things. That's the freedom. And we have another question. What are the samskaras and vasanas? So when we do a particular action, it creates a reaction with us. In the physical world, we know action and reaction are equal and opposite. This almost holds true even in our lives. So you do good action, you get a good reaction inside. This gets stored as a samskara or a vasana in this thing. If you do a bad action, corresponding bad imprint will go and become the samskara or vasana. And when these reactions which are there, good or bad, they becoming stronger and stronger. All these things are imprinted in our manomaya kosha and the subtle bodies and karna bodies. And when they become very strong, they are samskaras. Vasanas are mild in nature, we can say. Both are imprints. But vasanas can be probably overcome quickly. Samskaras become very strong. So they define the personality traits, samskaras. Vasanas are the tendencies. They are mild gunas, we can say. So difference between vasanas and samskaras are both are imprints, but samskaras are stronger and they are more gross. They have become grossified. More difficult to change the samskaras. Whereas vasanas are probably easier because they are mild. Just like we have mild, moderate, severe. This is, we can say, in a sense, is the mild vasanas. And how to cleanse them. Already I told you. So we have to determine, yes, I want to overcome this thing, like the anger our friend did. So every day in the morning you make a determination, yes, I want to overcome this thing which I don't want in my life. The desire, greed, anger, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, the six enemies of man. I don't want to have these things. And then go on doing that. Write the diary and make it as a systematic way by which you will be able to overcome that thing. And or things is going to happen. Thank you. Gaurav Chauhan, he says, when someone is depressed and does not have interest in anything in life, feels lonely all the time, emotion and even bhakti is not working, how should this person tackle the situation? So he has come to the say samoha, that is infatuation, that is the depression, and he has no interest in anything, everything is clouded, everything is there, and you just be sitting there in a state of depression. It's a psychiatric depression, a problem to modern NCD, non-communicable diseases. And how to overcome that thing. So, depression is the one which is the solidification of the emotions. No? As I said, no? Sangat sanjayate kamaha, kamat krodhobhijayate, krodhat bhavati sammohaha, sammohat spriti vibhramaha, pratibhramshat buddhinashaha, buddhinashat pranashyati. That's a sequence. So you're in the state of sammoha. You know, Samoha is infatuation or is a sort of depression. Samoha spriti vibrahma. What is the result? Then you lose your power of discrimination. Where to want to go, this way or this way, and you are not interested in anything. Your discrimination power is gone because your smriti, the memory which is there, which helps you to grow, is now blunted. The memory not occurs. This is what is happening. Therefore, the question is how to overcome this depression. Where should we start for this thing? So, you are in different phases. Starting initially with Dhyayata Vishyavan Pansaha, repeated thoughts that you have to cut. Then you come to the level of attachment, there you have to reduce. Then you come to the anger and the greed and jealousy, all these things will start coming. And you come to the phase of depression. This has become a grossified emotion. you know. So this is very powerful thought, and thoughts have become very grossified. Just like energy, when it goes on becoming like these things, it becomes matter. Similar thing has happened here. The memory also is shrouded, memory and Shruti the occurs and this thing. So at that time, we need the support of other persons. So you need a person to shake you up and come back because you yourself do not want to do anything. And you're in a state of complete depression and lost everything. So it is here that we need to bring the help of other people. Arjuna was almost in the state of confusion. He by himself would not have come out. So Krishna was to bring the whole knowledge base. So the person who does that will have to counsel him, and needed methods can be used: Jnana Yoga, Raj Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga. Particularly breathing is very, very important. And the person may ask them to do a lot of kapalabhati and fast breathing, and probably ask him to run around the things. And Krida Yoga also will help, and various techniques that we have developed. So from the state of samoha, you have to bring back to the phase where you'll be able to start controlling the thoughts by themselves. This is how we have to do. So breathing, pranayama, and kriyas are of great help. Ratna is asking, what is the difference between emotions like anger, fear, etc., and the heightened emotions that the bhaktas like Thakur, hmm, Paramahamsas go through these things. In the path of sadhana, we have the mastery. hmm. In emotions like anger, fear, depression, and others, there is no freedom. hmm. So, when Paramahamsa and Ramakrishna Paramahamsa and others were doing, when you do the things, you consciously develop your emotions. You strengthen your emotions. You know, and you do not get into that phase of either depression or in the phase of samoha. And you don't encounter the kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. Some of the emotional things which are get charged, they are divine emotions. They come up, and these powerful emotions start cleansing all the samskaras. You know. So repeated thinking, which are used consciously, maintaining the freedom, is the difference between sadhana and the depression dimension. Therefore, in the sadhana portion, we maintain that thing and don't get lost. Supposing in the process you get lost, then you may end up with the problem. So that can happen to some of the people who are doing the bhakti path. When they are doing this thing, they get lost. They go on doing it, and then they get lost in the whole encounter and may end up with the problem. So, maintaining the mastery, maintaining the freedom is the key essence in the sadhana. And we have Navaneet asking me a question. We are in the world surrounded by emotional persons. We cannot escape. If we behave the way of emotionally balanced, other might not understand how to manage this with others and any solution for this thing. Yes, life is a drama. You can show the necessary actions in the encounter, and entire thing had to be looked at as a drama. I remember once there was a drama going on, Ramayana, Rama and Ravana were coming to the final stage of the fight. You know, Rama's thing was done by one person, his name was Nataraj. You know, Nataraj was Rama, and another person was Kuru, and Kuru was Ravana doing this thing. Kuru and Nataraj were doing it wonderfully well. People were enthralled with such wonderful acting and going on and on. It has come to the climax. You know. But what happened is Kuru and this man really got in and started fighting each other and started beating them each other. They lost themselves. You know. And the director of the entire thing had to come and pull them out because they lost their freedom and they forgot that they are acting in the beautiful Ramayana drama. This is what has happened to us. The entire life is one of drama, if you understand. And therefore, we lose ourselves and get lost. Therefore, what you have to do is you have to learn to act as a drama. And maintaining the inner freedom when you do these things, you know where you are going, what you want to do that thing. Gurpreet is asking, what is oversensitivity? Oversensitivity is the sensitivity which comes up, which is hazardous. You have to be sensitive. As we grow, the sensitivity increases. It is good. Your efficiency increases. But once it goes beyond a certain level, the enslavement takes place. You lose the freedom and you get up with oversensitivity. If it happens in the nasal mucosa, then you have got nasal allergy. Happens in the skin, it is eczema and dermatitis. If it happens in the lower things, you may have asthma. So these are all hypersensitive or oversensitive reflexes that comes up. You know. So one in all these cases, it is losing the freedom, the power of discrimination. And that is the thing that happens in these things. Thank you very much for your nice question. Anybody else has any other questions before we close today?
Guruji, Hari Om, this is Kalyani here.
Yeah.
I don't have any questions. I'm listening from New Zealand. Gurpreet is my guru,
Hmm.
and she's given us this path. And this is the first time I'm able to actually listen to you. So just wanted to say a thank you. This was
Hmm.
really, really beautiful, and definitely we will be listening more from you soon. Thank you so much for this.
Yeah. Thank you all for a wonderful thing. So nice to meet all of you. So I hope this time is better compared to the earlier 8:45, and we'll continue with 7 o'clock because our Dinesh and many others wanted to start this early. 8:45 was too late for them. This thing.
Thank you, Guruji.
Ramchandra, thank you for coming. How is
Thanks.
everything going well?
Everything is fine. This time is more convenient.
Hmm. Not convenient, huh? What is the
More
time
more
there
convenient.
now for you?
For us now it is 9:22 in the night.
9:25. Hmm.
It starts at 8:30 in the night for us, the Eastern time.
8:45. 8:45 to
8, 8,
9:45. Hmm.
8:30 to 9:30 it will become here,
Hmm.
corresponding to whatever time it has started today.
But our Dinesh and these people say that it is 8:45 is late for them. No. So
That will be late, yes. That will
that's
be
in
quite,
Boston area.
it will be
So
quite late.
therefore we reduced it today.
This time is okay, yes.
Hmm. 8:45 will be what time in your place?
8:45 means 9:15 and then 1 hour 10:15. That will be a little late.
Hmm.
Today, I think it started at 7 o'clock in Bangalore.
Hmm. It's okay.
With one
7.
and a half hours difference is there like that. So 8:30, this
Hmm.
8:30 to 9:30 it will become.
Hmm.
That should be quite okay.
Yeah.
If later than that, it will be more difficult
Hmm.
for the people who go to bed
7
early.
to 8 is what we have planned. Let us see how it goes. And
Mm.
if it is not convenient, again we'll come back to the earlier thing. Because Dinesh ji and all people have been Boston area, New York area, they have been telling it is very late for them to be up. That's why we changed that. Okay, thank you.
Thank
How
you.
are you? Both namaste. Good. Good. We'll see you then next week.
Thank you.